Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Custom Carving and Epoxy UK, and I hope you're all doing well. I just thought I'd leave this in shot because this is getting demolded tomorrow and I am so excited. On the front, I'm hoping it's going to be like an orchid bloom effect, but if not, this back is absolutely stunning. So either way, I'm going to have a good piece. It's my biggest piece. That's 24 ounces of resin I've used in this, heavy as well. So I'm hoping to get a cool effect on the front, but if not, do you know what? I'm really happy with that back. That is absolutely stunning. So I just wanted to show you that at the start of this video. But this video isn't about that. That video should be coming out tomorrow. This video is about something I came out with by accident, to be honest, yesterday. So I don't know if you've watched the video, but it's basically cat's eye alcohol ink. And the reason I just wanted to, sorry, I'm just trying to find a space for this, but I just wanted to do a quick video on it because a lot of us out there, I think, when we're looking for rainbow ink or glitter ink, whatever you want to call it, we always think of Marabou. And I've seen that and I've tried that myself in a few projects, and it gives you a sparkle, but it's mainly a blue sparkle. And actually, using this cat's eye alcohol ink that I came up with, I tried it with UV resin yesterday, and I was really happy with the effects. Look at those colours and that sparkle in there. That's actually a defect on my mould, but look at the colours. All of those different colours sparkling through. I did a few different designs on it, so if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it. But for me, that's a better sparkle than what you get from Marabou. It'll be cheaper to make your own as well. And all it's using is these different cat's eye powders, not the nail varnish. I don't know if the nail varnish would work in the alcohol, but all it's doing is using these different colours of cat's eye powders. And the only place I could actually find the powders was into Resin. And if you want to get yourself some and try this experiment along with me, get yourself onto Into Resin. I've got a discount code which is CCUK, which gets you, I think it's either 15 or 20% off anything on site. So again, have a look at that. And it's the only place where I could find the powders and not the nail polish. And as I say, all I did is I actually took a bit of each, mixed it with 99.9% alcohol. Go back on the previous video, as I say, and have a look. But that's all I've done. But I did say I was going to try it with 2-part, and I'm going to try it with 2-part and a bit of Petri. So I've cleaned my mould. I know it doesn't look clean, but it's a well-used mould. I'm going to try a starfish as well with this cat's eye. Now, I know you shouldn't clean these handmade rock moulds, and again, this was from Into Resin because it's a crystal mould. You shouldn't clean them with alcohol, but I think I'm okay using alcohol inks in it, and I think that will look amazing with some Petri effects just coming up through the starfish and that crystal effect. But again, I've not tried it in a mould that deep yet with the Petri effect either. So this is just going to be a quick video just to really see how this works. And another great benefit of using this sort of rainbow alcohol ink, and it's the same with the Marabou one, is it stops your ink spreading as much, so you can actually, if you plan it carefully, get more colours in each pendant, which I love to do. So I'm just going to fill these, and then we're going to do the standard Petri effect, which you've seen me do countless times. The only difference being is I'm going to put a few drops of this cat's eye alcohol ink in that we've made, and I think that should give us a really, really fun glittery effect. And I'm hoping it doesn't sink in 2-part. I don't know yet, so this is an experiment for that. It didn't sink in the UV, and I'm hoping it won't sink in the 2-part, but we'll find out tonight. And it is Halloween, so I'm hoping the doorbell doesn't keep going every 5 minutes while I'm trying to film, but you never know. I'm trying to leave a tiny bit of space at the top because I do want to back these, because I think for the best effect I'm going to want a dark backing. So I am going to want to back these possibly with either some alcohol ink. I've got some cheap black alcohol ink actually lying at the side, or go in with another layer of resin. I'm not going overboard. I've only mixed up 2 ounces of resin, so I can't go overboard. As I do on many occasions. But I hope you're enjoying the content as well and these experiments, guys, because that's what it's all about. I'm hoping that you guys are liking the channel as much as I'm enjoying filming and experimenting for you guys. So if you do me a favor, just spend 2 seconds now. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. It makes a huge difference, and it's the only way that YouTube creators can grow. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you're liking the content, shows it to more people, and then hopefully we can keep growing the channel. And as we grow, we can do more experiments. And hopefully keep coming up with discoveries like this, because, as I say, it was kind of by accident, but I absolutely loved it. Let's see if I've got enough for these 2 squares as well. This should be. But as I say, it was kind of by accident that I discovered it, just because I got the cat's eye powders through, and I've been looking for the powders for a while, because I keep seeing the nail polishes everywhere, but I don't like that because it doesn't allow me to do as much with it. With the powders, I can either dust the backs of pendants if I want, I can put it in an alcohol ink, which I've now done, or do lots of other experiments with it. And I think it's a lot easier to have it in powder form. And thank God I found Into Resin, because that's the only site I found that actually does it in powder form in the different colours. So, have I got enough for these 2 as well? I'm going to try and get these in as well. I'm going to have to get myself a new mould as well, because no matter how much I clean this mould now, I think it's been very, very well used. Just going to see if I can fill up these 2 tiny ones here as well, because I've actually got some cabochon pendant backs that will actually fit these tiny ones. But they're normally an absolute pain to fill, because they literally take a couple of drops. And as I say, if the doorbell does go, I'm going to have to go to the door because of the trick-or-treaters. And I've still got the tiniest bit in. Let's try these little hearts as well. The pains of Halloween. Interrupting resin crafters across the globe tonight, I'm sure. And there we go. And I think that's as many as I'm going to get out of that. So here we go. So I'm just going to make sure there's no major bubbles in there first of all. As always, use your dotting tool. If there's any towards the bottom, just bring them to the surface. This shouldn't be, because this has gone through the bubble removal machine. I'm using the Let's Resin 1:1 resin as well. And I'm going to be using the Let's Resin alcohol inks and their C Deeper as well for my Sinker White. Just trying to get any big bubbles out and spreading this square mould out. They don't like to fill for some reason, these square ones. Or maybe it's just me doing it wrong. Let me know in comments. But here we go. And as I say, I'm going to be quite varied with the inks that I'm going to be using, because for me it's not about the Petri effect it's about actually the sparkle that you get from this cat's eye alcohol ink that I've made. So that's the resin poured. This is the cat's eye alcohol ink, and as you can see, it separates very quickly. So you need to give it a shake. And you can see all of those cat's eye particles floating. And I'm just going to put a few drops in each one. So in these tiny ones, I'm only going to put 1 in, because they can't actually fit more in. In the squares, I'm going to go for 4. And I don't really think it's going to matter where I put them. I want at least 1 in the centre. And I don't want to go overboard, because I still want to be able to see the Petri. but I want enough in there that we can actually see these cat's eye particles. And also, as it spreads, as I say, across the surface, the great thing is it stops your ink spreading as much, your coloured inks. It almost creates like a separate barrier, which means you can get lots of different colours in each one, which I love to do. For me, that's part of the fun of Petrie, seeing how many colours you can actually get in without it muddying too much. And I'm deliberately going to try and not use my peach red this time, because that's the only colour I seem to have muddying problems with. The rest of them I've had no issues with. Oh, nearly forgot the starfish as well. So again, just a few drops going in, trying to keep it actually in the mould. And that was a mould as well from Resin, handmade moulds. They're absolutely stunning. So if you've not seen them yet, have a look on the website. Made a little crystal piggy as well in a previous video, which was one of their handmade moulds, which came out really well. So that's those in. Now, as I say, I'm going to be using my Let's Resin set of alcohol inks. I'm leaving the peach red to the side. I'm going to try it in one piece just because I love the colour, but no more than that. So, and again, I'm going to be quite adventurous here and just let the colours choose themselves. That one's not open, so I'm not going to use that one. Here we go. So this one's just standard red. Always looks good in the hearts. And look at that. If you can see, these normally, if I put one drop in a heart, usually that's going to take up about half of a heart. But it's not this time. And as I say, I think that's one of the great things about using. It's exactly the same with the Marabou glitter inks as well. It has the same impact. So there we go. That's enough red, I think, or maybe a dot of red in one of these. Now on that one it has spread, and that tells me that I probably didn't put the glitter down in that area. What's next? Cerulean. It's one of my favourite blues in this set. So again, I'm not going to get much more than one drop in these. But look at that. It stops them spreading as much into each other. And that's one of the great things for me. It's like an extra bonus. And so I'm going to try and get a few colours. What's this one? Purple. Always remember to shake your inks as well before you use them. And some of them will touch. I actually want some of them to touch. Oh, that one accidentally went in there. But as you can see, they're not really spreading the way that these inks usually do. What else have I got? In fact, I'm going to use that one drop of peach red that I said I was going to use. Now this is the only one that I really have problems with the muddying, but I'm going to try it because I haven't tried it like this yet. There we go. And I said I wasn't going to put it in many, but I do love that colour. So yeah, it's got in a few. Hopefully we don't get any major muddying. What's this? This is just a blue. Again, the different shades of blue sometimes together create a really, really nice effect. And let me know in comments, guys, are you liking the content genuinely, or do you want me to come up with some new wackier ideas, or are you loving the Petrie the same as I do? Not every experiment has to be a crazy one. I'm just going in with a bit of orange as well. I really like the orange from Let's Resin. Really vibrant in colour. And as I say, if some of them do touch, it doesn't really bother me because I haven't had major issues with muddying yet. Yet being the operative word. Have you? Let me know. What else have we got? We've got a nice yellow there, but I'm going to save that till last because I like yellow because it's a bit of a safer colour. So I've got this purplish red. And I think them will be about there, to be honest with you. Purplish red. And then the yellow to fill up any of the gaps. But I'm liking the way that these are looking. And now the ones where this, oh, in fact I want one drop of purplish red just at the top there if I can. And then where I can still see a bit of space, I'm just going to go in with the yellow. Or the yellow green. So I've got the yellow green as well, which just gives you a slightly green tinge of yellow. It's still a really nice colour actually. And it's reasonably safe colour again, which I haven't had any issues with muddying yet. But this is part of the fun of the Petri effect. You never know what's going to happen until you demold. So I think I'm happy with that for my colours. Next thing I'm going to do is just go in as standard. Oh, I'm not, because I haven't done my starfish. Now I might do this in different shades of blue actually. So cerulean in that leg. A blue in that leg. A sapphire blue. And that's having a really weird effect actually. In that leg. Just hope it doesn't stain that mould as well because it's a really, really nice mould. What other blues have I got? I've got a turquoise. And then there is still the midnight blue, which is really dark. So I think I'm going to put the turquoise in the top leg. And then midnight blue in the other leg. Which again is a really dark colour. And just because I really like the cerulean, I'm going to put another drop of that in the centre just so that there is a drop in the centre as well. I think that should be enough. So that is the inks. Putting those all away so they don't get in the way. And again, these inks are the most concentrated I've found and they're really, really good. A little bit pricier than some of your cheaper ones, but they go a long way as well. So, and you get 2 bottles of the Sinker White in there. So again, it means that you haven't got to worry about the Sinker White because you've already got it. So next is my Sinker White. I just put it in a needle tip bottle and look at how it separates on there. If you can see, that's why you put the ball bearing in there. And that's why it's really important to give it a good shake so that it doesn't all stay on that bottom. That's where you're going to have effect, problems. And again with this, I'm just going to try and put 1 drop on per colour. Bit hard to tell now they've all mixed, but again, we'll see how we get on. So I'm going to start with the starfish. 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop. And you can see the Sinker White as well. again, it doesn't spread the same way that we normally get that spread because of that glitter or cat's eye alcohol ink that we've just put down. But again, it should still give us the same effects, hopefully. One drop, one drop. And if you're doing quite a few pendants like this as well, just a tip for you, give it another shake halfway through, just to remix it up. Because sometimes you might find that the ones that you did last blob a little bit around the sides. I think 3 should be enough in there. 4 in there. And as you can see, it still has the same effect, but I have found that you probably just need a drop more than what you would normally use if you're using any kind of rainbow ink or glitter ink. And it will still, hopefully, spread and cover the whole piece, which is what I'm looking for. Did I do that one? Well, if I did, it's now got 2 drops. And don't panic if you get an extra drop in there. It's not really going to have a massive impact on your Petri. So that is pretty much there, I think. Just looking around, making sure that I've covered them all, which I have. And any bits where it looks particularly dark, I do tend to put another drop on, because actually if it does lighten it up a bit, that doesn't bother me. I actually quite like the lighter colours. But I think I'm happy with that. So again, I'm going to leave it for about an hour. And then just come back and do a stir on the ones that I want to do a stir on. And so I'm not going to stir this starfish because I just want to see what it comes out like. And I am planning to back these, as I say, with some, well, the ones I can. So some of these I've got a gap in, some of these I haven't. So I'm probably going to mix up some just 2-part epoxy again with some black mica or pigment. And then just back the ones where I've got a bit of a gap to make them completely level. The ones where I can't, like this heart where I filled it all the way to the top, I'm not going to back. Because again, some of them come out really cool without the backing. So just going to leave it 40 minutes or so for this to thicken up, and then we'll come back and do the stir. Hey guys, and it's been around about half an hour. But I think the resin's about there. So the way to test it, and I'm going to try and get you a bit of a zoomed in picture, is what you're looking for. I'm going to do it on one of these small ones. Is you just want, when you touch the resin and bring it back up, you want a string like that. And on the bigger ones, I'm getting it. See if I can just move you across to one of these bigger ones. So if you look here, literally I'm just doing it in a transparent bit, but I'm touching it and I'm getting that little string afterwards, which tells me that the resin is about ready. So I'm going to do my stirs. I'm going to try and do it to keep you guys in view. I always forget that when I'm doing my stirs. And I'm going to use a toothpick this time rather than my stirrer, because I want, I suppose, more of a detailed effect. So I'm going to start with the starfish. And all I'm going to do with the starfish, I think, is just move it in with a slight wiggly line to the centre from each leg. Always remember to wipe your stick or dotting tool, whatever you're using, each time. And I am going to back this as well, because I think there's a tiny bit of space left in there. And just remember, especially with these handmade moulds, do not touch that mould. So you just almost tickling that surface. So that's that, and then I'm going to do a little tiny swirl just in the middle, and I think that's my starfish done. Now to go on to these, and I'm going to start and come at the outside and come in with this one. I've gone in a bit deeper than I normally do because I want a little bit of depth in these, just to see what that cat's eye alcohol ink will look like with that depth. And I don't mind a little bit of transparency like I've got on that one. And again, I forgot my gloves for the swirl, I'm sorry. And what I normally try and do is find a light patch like this white and bring all the colours through that. I'm going to have some quite dark ones actually, looking at the colours that I've used this time. And that's the risk, you know, when you use a lot of colours, they can mix and you can get a really dark effect. They still look cool, but if you don't like dark ones, use less colours and use your lighter colours. And again, I'm just going to go with the standard swirl for most of these, because that's this one for me isn't really about the Petrie. It's about seeing how much sparkle we get from that cat's eye alcohol ink. And these tiny ones, there's nothing else you can do really apart from a standard swirl. They're just not big enough. Right, so that's those. These ones I quite like just going in and doing almost a wispy side effect. Again, doing the same with this one. Nothing special. Just a slight wispy line side to side. I think I went a bit deep with that one, so I'm a bit concerned with that, but we'll find out at the demold. And you can see, using that dark purple, I think, is the ones that are really darkened. Oh, I like that. And just remember, every line you put in, you're probably going to be disturbing another line that you've put in. But I like the way that one looks. And I think I am going to get some muddying in this piece, unfortunately, because of that peach red. But we will find out tomorrow at the demold. And as I say, the main thing I was testing here, it's not the Petrie effects. I've done tons of videos on that. It's actually the cat's eye alcohol ink, and if we're going to get a better result than what I do normally with the Malibu inks. So that is pretty much it. I'm going to come back, I'm going to first of all give you a bit of a close-up, but then I'm going to come back in about maybe an hour's time, and then just the ones that I want to back, I'm going to back. So, and I might be a little bit different. I might try and back them with my metallic powders rather than black. But I think that starfish is going to look amazing. And again, I've got a really exciting demold tomorrow with this one. I can't wait to see what this looks like on the front. As I say, it's been a 3-day project, that one, so really excited for that. And excited for these to see what effect we get. But we'll demold in the morning, and I'll see you at demold and upload the video hopefully the day after tomorrow. So apart from that, happy Halloween, and I'll see you all on the next one. Hey guys, and it's the next morning, I know that it's not been quite 24 hours, but I wanted to get these demolded just to see what effect we've got, if any. And as you can see, when I put the backing on, it wasn't set. I was very impatient, and it's created that effect on the back, which I absolutely love. And it'd be interesting to see if it's created any different effect on the front. Some of them I didn't do when I realised this had happened, but I still went around with that white and just thought I'd see if it would create a different effect. So all this is ocean white pigment from Let's Resin, and the plan was to back these darker ones with a white backing, but I'd only left it sort of 2 hours and these weren't set enough to do that, so lesson learnt there, but I want to see if it's made a cool effect anyway. So I'm going to start with the starfish. Really cool mould. I absolutely love these crystal moulds from Into Resin. If you're interested in them as well, I've got a discount code as well in the description, which is ccuk. And wow, that has come out really well. And I've got some of those longer spores in there as well with that Petrie. A little bit of blobbing on the top where they've reached all the way down, but I don't mind that in this. I think it looks natural. It looks like the ocean. Look at those spores, the way they've stretched. Just trying to get you a zoomed in picture, but look at that. Absolutely stunning, that. And I love the swirl in the middle as well, the way that's come out with the Petrie. But not a fan of the blobbing. So hopefully that's not going to be a reoccurring theme, but look at those spores. Really interesting piece. I could probably look at this one for hours, but there we go. So that's the starfish with the crystal mould effect. Lovely piece. I'm going to start with these squares, because this is, again, with these squares, I did have that same problem where I put the white on too soon and it's created almost that wispy effect. So love that on the back. So if nothing else, that could be a new effect. Wow. So the Petrie's worked, but I've got a bit of blobbing again. And I don't usually get blobbing with my Petrie. I'm just seeing as well, you can see a few of those cat's eye sparkles, but not as many as I could with the UV, and maybe that's because the white backing is slightly blocking it a little bit with that sinker white. And the next one, look at that. Love that effect on this side. Ooh, and again, quite a lot of blobbing in that. But I can see more of the sparkle on this one from that cat's eye alcohol ink. Looks stunning, actually. And interestingly, none of that's blobbed to the front. Now let's go with this little heart next. So again, on the back, look at that. Really stands out. But again, you know, I can see that cat's eye sparkle, which is great, but I've got this blobbing at the side, which I don't normally get. So I'm just wondering why, to be honest. So let's go with one of these circles. Again, it was one of the ones where I added the white bloom too soon. Wow. Again, lots of blobbing though. I'm not a fan. You can really see the cat's eye sparkle coming through though. All the different colours just sparkling through. And that's what I prefer about this to the Maribou Rainbow ink. The Maribou, you tend to get sort of a bluish colour. But yeah, I love the effect, but I'm not happy with the blobbing. I'm going to try one where I didn't add the white bloom. So this is one where I didn't add the white bloom, because I thought it would look really cool without a backing, which it does. But I've still got that blobbing. I mean, you can see the Petrie in there, you can see the sparkles from the cat's eye, which is lovely. But I've got all this blobbing around the edge, and the only time I've really had that with Petrie was when I've done it with my silicone oil, and that was deliberate, but this time it's not, so not a huge fan of that. But I love that cat's eye sparkle that's coming through, just in the different light and the different colours that are sparkling through. Let's do the other heart as well, because that didn't have the bloom added either. And again, I've got that blobbing around the edge. I'm wondering, this is the first time I've done Petrie since using this version 2.0. And I'm wondering if it's a slightly heavier recipe, which I might be able to fix in a future experiment just by adding more alcohol to it. But yeah, not happy with that, to be honest. Let's Resin, you should tell us if you're changing your recipes. Again, this is another one where I didn't add the white bloom. Look at the sparkle on that. So the cat's eye alcohol ink, which is what this experiment was, is really working lovely. And I love that. And I love the Petrie in there. But I'm not a fan of this excessive blobbing around the sides. Let me know what you think in comments as well, guys. So this is one without again. And again, that is stunning. But I've got this blobbing around the side, which for me takes away from the piece. But I love that. Look at that shimmer on the back. And then you can just see the little cat's eye sparkles coming through as well. So I'm happy with the cat's eye alcohol ink. I'm not happy with all of this excessive blobbing we've got. Again, this was another one where I added that bloom white too soon. Love the effect this side. Wow. Again, you can really see that cat's eye sparkle. I could probably add a few drops more on the next one. But again, I'm not a massive fan of this effect if I don't want it. When I wanted it in silicone oil, I loved it, but I didn't want it on these. So, as I say, I think it could be. It's the first time I've done Petrie since using the version 2.0 Sinker White. Again, look at that. Now, had it not been for that blobbing, look at that sparkle in that dark background from the cat's eye alcohol ink. That is stunning. So I still like them, but I didn't want this blobbing around the side. But the cat's eye alcohol ink has worked really well, and none of that has come to the front, so it's not too heavy. This is another one without the white being added. And again, I love the Petrie effect. I love the sparkle really coming through, but I don't love that excessive blobbing. Right, let's hope for better results in these four, although I did add the white bloom to these. Look at that. Now that is stunning. Oh, what a shame. As I say, again, with those colours look amazing in there. But it's that excessive blobbing around the side. So next experiment I'm going to do, I'm going to add some more alcohol to that sinker white and see if that makes a difference, because that's too much blobbing around the edges for me. But again, you can just see the sparkly effect coming through from that cat's eye alcohol ink, which is lovely. Okay, look at that. Now, I love the back on these. So at least I found a new effect to do that. Wow. See, had it not been for the blobbing, look at that sparkle. Look at that sparkle on top of the Petrie. Looks absolutely stunning. If it wasn't for that excessive blobbing around the sides, I think these would have been my favourite Petrie pieces. Just because of that sparkle and the way it seems to almost settle on the Petrie. Gives you extra depth, I think, in the piece. So again, like that one, but don't like the excessive blobbing around the side. Right, let's go for the two big ones. Wow. Now that, had it not have been for that excessive blobbing, would have been one of my favourite pieces I've done to date, I think. Just with that sparkle coming through on all of that Petrie. And those different colour blends in that one are absolutely amazing. But the sparkle, you can't see it as much on the camera, but in real life, genuinely, these are more sparkly than when I've used the Marabou. And you get the different colours coming through of that cat's eye as well, because I put the 6 different colours in that alcohol ink. Again, that looks amazing from the back. So at least we know how to get this effect now. So put your alcohol inks into your resin, then add your white bloom before it sets. And again, wow, look at that swirl in there. Had it not been for these spores at the side, these would have been some of my favourite Petri pieces yet. But you can just see the sparkle if I get it in the right light. And that is completely covering all of that Petri. It's absolutely stunning. So I'm going to try these again. But what I'm going to do is my Sinker White, which you can see there, I'm going to add some more alcohol to it. And try and dilute it a little bit, because that's the only thing that I can think that's causing this on the sides. Or maybe it was the extra cat's eye alcohol ink, I don't know, but I'm going to test this theory out. So for that bottle, I'm just going to add 2 or 3 more mil on the next experiment and see if it stops this blobbing at the sides. But overall, happy with the experiment, really happy with the starfish. I think he's probably my favourite piece. And again, had I not got the blobbing on that, look at those almost waves in the spores. So I'm definitely going to be doing another one of these with this effect, but hopefully avoiding those spores so the crystal effect still really stands out. So I hope you've liked the video. If you have, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.